A major draft day trade could be coming for the New York Knicks, as multiple reports seem to indicate that they are willing to move either up or down with their 24th and 25th pick overall, and we have to talk about this. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as always, because the NBA draft is tomorrow, guys. I am so excited for it. And it seems like there is going to be some trading done, very likely involving the New York Knicks. And recent reports seem to indicate that they are looking at trading up in the draft, while we've also seen reports of them being willing to trade completely out of the draft whatsoever. So let's jump right in and take a look. Because the New York Knicks and Utah Jazz have made advances about combining their late first-round picks and second-round draft capital to slide up into the teens of the draft, rival executives have told Jake Fisher at Yahoo Sports. And this is very interesting because we know the Los Angeles Lakers are going guns a-blazing for any star they can get to try to maximize on this window of LeBron James still being in the NBA and having AD in his prime. He just had one of the best seasons of his career. The New York Knicks could be looking at 17th overall and thinking, all right, do we want to trade 24 or 25 for that? Well, we would be interested in moving into the teens. Let's see if we can move higher. If not, maybe we do that deal and they hold on to that 38th pick. Because personally, I don't think 24, 25, and 38 are worth 17. It's only a couple slots. Unless the Knicks really want Ryan Dunn, which is why I think they're looking up or looking to move up into the teens, is because Ryan Dunn, his stock has flown through the roof when he's been working out with teams. He is going to get picked, most likely before 24 at this point. And if he does, well, then he won't go to the Knicks unless the Knicks trade up. That is why we have to keep this in mind. The Knicks have worked out a handful of guys recently. They worked out Kel'el Ware. They worked out Ryan Dunn, obviously. Recent reports that just came out right before I hit play is that there's been some news, according to Sam Vecenie of Draft Express, that the Knicks do have interest in point guard Tyler Kolek, who would be around for that 24th or 25th spot. So they might be looking at him, despite the fact that they have the influx of point guards in Brunson, in Deuce McBride. You got Rokas Jokubaitis ready. He is someone who the Knicks are looking at. But let's just take some more deep dives, because we got more. The Nets have called front offices with selections as early as the 20s because they are interested in moving up into that first round. There's been a few names like that they've been interested in, specifically Antonio Reeves' name has popped up for the Nets. The Knicks may be able to turn this into some Mikal Bridges talk because, as we know, as reported yesterday from Jake Fisher, the Jazz, along with the Houston Rockets and New York Knicks, were the three teams that very much have been looking into Mikal Bridges. They're among the three teams that continue to check with Brooklyn about Mikal Bridges' availability. So it's very important to note that if the Nets are going looking, if they maybe want to start, I don't know, adding more young players, then maybe they will go for a Mikal Bridges trade more likely if the Knicks throw those picks that way along with other draft picks and Bojan Bogdanovic and potentially Deuce McBride also. Just really stack it up if the Knicks want to go guns a-blazing, go for that title now, get that win now really ingrained in you. Now, I also think you could trade Mikal Bridges for the third pick if you're the Nets, so they probably should do that if I'm being honest. But that's neither here nor there. If the Knicks want to take their chance, they can. It seems like the Rockets want to trade that third pick, so we should be worried about that for the Mikal hive, that is. But this is also a video about the draft, so let's talk some draft stuff. Now, there has been some recent news about it from our guy Bagley, and he said that he does think the Knicks will make at least one pick in this draft, and this is on a very recent thing that he did when he talked about different draft picks that he could see the New York Knicks making literally tomorrow. Today's June 25th, also my birthday, and tomorrow we got this draft coming out. So Bagley did a last-minute kind of mock draft on what he thinks will happen, and we'll waste no more time. We'll jump into it, guys. Now, as you can see here, 24th overall, Baylor Shireman. Don't know much about him at all. Someone who we could see the Knicks going for because he's a shooter. The Knicks have been known to want to add more shooting to the team. With Bojan Bogdanovic being dangled as trade bait with that contract, there's a good chance that maybe they will go for some more shooting to kind of replace Bojan for a forward who can hit some threes. He also does mention here that he thinks that Ryan Dunn will be off the board. As I mentioned, that's one of the reasons why the Knicks might be looking to move up. And then also, if we take a look here at 25th overall, they could be looking at Terrence Shannon Jr. He's one of the oldest players in the draft. He's already 23 years old. We know the Knicks are cool with drafting older guys who maybe are NBA ready now. Shannon has a lot of potential to develop into one hell of an NBA player, especially when it comes to defense. He's super athletic, has a great feel for the game, excellent defender, one of the best players in college basketball last year. He has that man strength. He's 23 years old, so he's got it. He put up 23 points per game at Illinois, and also the criminal case that he was dealing with. He was found not guilty, so it appears that he'll be ready to go. There will be no distractions for him. I would not mind this pick whatsoever. I think he could truly blossom into a great NBA player. He also mentioned that the Knicks could take Kel'el Ware, and that would be a sign into what happens with Mitchell Robinson. And then at 38th overall, none other than Nets draft target Antonio Reeves. And he is a John Calipari player. So that is why we know the Knicks used to have that Kentucky connection. They trust Calipari a lot, who's obviously now at Arkansas, but, was working at Kentucky up until that point. Hits 44.7% of his threes. So it does give the Knicks something to really look at when it comes to some prospects. I would like the idea of Terrence Shannon Jr. I'm also cool with the idea of trading up for Ryan Dunn. If the Knicks believe this heavily in Ryan Dunn, I trust them. They've been very good at drafting outside of the lottery since Leon came here. I mean, bringing in Emmanuel Quickly, who was awesome. Quentin Grimes, phenomenal draft pick. Rokas Jokubaitis seems like he's got something that he wants to show us, but only if he can get rotational minutes. Recent highlights were coming out from him and him playing. Hopefully he'll come over for Summer League, though it depends on the Olympic qualifiers and all that stuff, because the Olympics are also this year, and he'd rather play for his hometown, Lithuania. Home country. Whoops. So that's also something that should be looked at when you're considering what the Knicks are going to do. I would like Kel'el Ware in theory, but I don't love my brain is less sold on him than my heart is. Where it's like, yeah, he could shoot, he could block shots, but he might not be able to do either of those things at the NBA level. He's a hit or miss guy. That's one of those situations where if you're staying at 24 and 25, I say go for Kel'el Ware. He's got crazy potential. Take a shot on that potential, because you already have enough big men, and then you could kind of experiment with maybe trading Mitch if you want to. You'll still have Jericho Sims. You can go for Goga Batadze to kind of be a bridge backup center for a year or two if you need. Phenomenal defender in Goga. So there's some options the Knicks can make. Totally, the Knicks have been interested in Goga, so I wouldn't be shocked if that's exactly what they do. But if you draft Kel'el Ware 24th or 25th, draft a guy who's supposed to pan out next. Maybe not the highest ceiling, but maybe a Terrence Shannon Jr., someone who should be able to add something to an NBA team next season. I think that is the game plan for the New York Knicks. As Begley said, they're probably going to use at least one of their draft picks. I assume it'll be a first-round pick unless they see a trade that they can absolutely make, and then they'll just make that trade. If they need to acquire that star player using both their draft picks this year, they're going to. They're totally going to, and that's respectable. But hopefully we see the Knicks make a draft pick for the first time in a few years in the first round. That would be sick to see. It's nice to have rookies, because what if they pan out? They're on really cheap contracts. It could work out well. But, guys, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below who you want to see the Knicks draft. Will they make a draft day trade? What draft day trade would you want to see them make? Would you like to see them make some big splash, like maybe that thing I talked about a few weeks ago with Mitch and 24 for Larry Nance and the 6th overall pick or something like that? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Have a great day. I'm going to go enjoy my birthday. Go Knicks.